Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Moments away, it'll be the Denver Nuggets going up against the Chicago Bulls at United Center. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. D.A. will join us tonight on the sideline. D.A., it's all yours.
Kevin, thank you. Now, Nikola Jokic is honest about why he's so patient offensively. He said it's because I can't really run fast. That's my only option. When I have the ball, I just look for defensive mistakes. Being a little bit slower gives my teammates a chance to back cut, lob. I'm just playing in my comfort zone. Kevin?
He is definitely letting the play develop, D.A. Thank you. Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. You look at the Nuggets. They're fourth in the conference and looking to make a move the latter part of the season.
And you know, for the Nuggets, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
You know, I thought maybe they'd have it in them to actually join those leaders this season. But you're right, it's still nice work, considering where they are.
Now let's take a look at the Nuggets opening lineup. The team is out there with Jeremy Lamb. Then there's Jamal Murray. And it's Nikola Jokic. And for the Bulls, Payton is out there with Johnson. Then it's Williams. Then it's Michael Porter. And it's Allen in at the center position. So the Chicago Bulls able to put up the first points on the board. One-on-one here. Here's Johnson. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Johnson's got 5 now.
Well, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
It's been a quick start here for Chicago. It's a 5-point game. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Nobody near Allen. And the Bulls, another 3. And Clark, some guys check the standings every morning. Others try to avoid it. What was your approach?
Well, we were struggling as a team when I was playing, so the standings weren't that significant. Just trying to win games was my primary focus. But as I've watched players, I do know that the better the team is, typically the more guys are checking the standings to see what other teams of their ilk are doing in the league.
And that was a great replay we just saw of our Mobile One block.
And an early swat like that can really set the tone. Now the shooters will be feeling his presence.
Now here's Johnson, following the miss by Jamal Murray. Williams finds Johnson. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. And that's now 7 points for Johnson.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
And, you know, when you've got a chance to put a team away early, you got to take it.
And so here's Denver. Nothing yet up on the scoreboard for them. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
Well, they made a few key shots, but missed many more. It was a rough night for them offensively.
And you know what? If you're not going to outwork your opposition, then you typically are going to get outplayed.
Johnson can't get it to go.
4 or 5 to start the game. That's their first miss.
Jokic passes to Murray. Back to Jokic. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Batum dishes to Lamb. 5 to shoot. Jokic sets the screen for Lamb. Deep 2 for Murray. And it comes off the front of the rim.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Johnson, the pass to Allen. The kick out to Porter. Murray against Johnson. Another one falls for Chicago.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
You're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Drops in the tray.
Look at how instant Murray's shooting can be. Gets the pass, plants the feet, and drills it.
Porter in the corner. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
Lamb, good.
Lamb able to get fancy with his dribble moves and not afraid to experiment from time to time, but he's got to keep it close to the vest until he gets a little better with that ball.
Now here's Johnson. What a tremendous game he played against the Clippers. Allen kicks to Johnson. Johnson double-teamed, and a wide-open look for Porter. And the Bulls, another three.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easy. I mean, at some point, defensively, you have to take something away.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
And, you know, it's an all-out effort they've come in with. Very aggressive offense so far.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, it's early. They should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Yeah, they built up this lead 3 points at a time.
And I like the strategy. It's a great strategy. Bury those threes early, and it'll open up the inside for them later on.
And here's Stevenson for three. And the last-second attempt does not go in for him. And so it's Chicago. 13 points up at the end of the period. They've been playing some ferocious defense. Back to the action after this word. Some historic numbers put up by Nikola Jokic, but he made it.
It's easy for me, actually. I mean, I have such a great teammates.
And it's certainly true, Greg. There's a depth of talent on this team.
With complementary skill sets, too. But let's not kid ourselves. It all revolves around the Joker and his unique skill set. They'll go as far as he takes them.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Bulls.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So on the floor for Denver, we've got Monte Morris. Jokic is out there at Bull. Then it's Jeremy Lamb, and it's Stevenson in at the shooting guard position. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Nikola Jokic is arguably the greatest passing center of all time. So arguably because Wilt is in the conversation. But Jokic sees the game a frame ahead. Nikola said, I just look at the defenders are standing, listen to what they're talking about in their play calls. For me, it's a normal thing. I just wonder what they're doing, and I do the opposite. Kevin, it's simple, actually. I'm going to do the opposite now and stop talking.
No. You keep talking, we'll keep listening, and David, thank you very much. Now the Bulls with it. They're on a 12-4 run. Johnson double-teamed. Porter finds Johnson. Clock at 6. From downtown, Carter Williams can't get it to go. The Nuggets trail by 21. Clark, so unique to have a 7-footer like Jokic who makes everyone around him better.
He is so much fun to watch, Kevin. And he does make everybody better because he plays the game simply and effectively. He once said, a point makes you happy, but an assist makes you and your teammate happy. How about that? Jokic could probably average double-digit assists anytime he wants to. And I think it might happen before his career is done.
Allen, a screen on Stevenson. Johnson draws the double. A shot by Carter Williams. Nobody around. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got his 4th assist in this one. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Morris with the bucket.
And I like that they're not settling. Getting the ball on the interior, 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Sometimes you just got to man up and take a tough foul in order to stop these free runs to the rim.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart. And let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
It was the exact same kind of offensive showcase for him in their last game, too. When it happens this often, that's not a pattern. That's a characteristic.
And here are the Nuggets now. The Bulls getting the bucket. Now the Bulls with it. They're on a 17-6 run. It's Porter outside. And no good that time. And the Nuggets going the other way. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season. Lamb, good.
You know, wanting to get better at shooting the three-ball, Lamb, the key to improving is the confidence you gain from putting in the work to get better.
Carter Williams finds Johnson. The kick out to Porter. Now Johnson. Pass to Allen. And here is Carter Williams. The three from Johnson. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so a pretty lopsided game through the fourth.
The Bulls.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime.
The lineup for the three-point contest, a little more in focus now. And a lot of these names are really no surprise.
Yes, these are the elite of the elite of the elitists, but only the most dead.
All right, fellas, let's check in on our first half of action and the dominating performance for the Bulls. And that about wraps it up. And as the third...
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. Baller having a dominant impact in this game.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Well, you know what, guys? It was all about efficient offense, not rushing things, taking your time, finding the best shot on every possession.
They've got Payton. Williams is out there with Allen. Then it's Johnson, and it's Porter in at the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Batum against Williams. Over to the left wing. Three-pointer. Another 3 for Denver. And a lot of players want a voice in team strategy. And I've always wondered, Greg, is there a downside for coaches letting their players get too involved?
I mean, there is a belief that you can have too many cooks in the kitchen, right? But if a player knows his stuff, it's worth at least hearing them out, if only to keep those open lines of communication.
Well, the coaching staff loves when Porter Jr. takes these kinds of shots. It really helps establish a rhythm for him.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What? You mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more. And, you know, passes like that go a long way. Terrific teamwork.
Murray, the pass to Jokic. To the inside. And it's Murray, that time on the assist from Batum. Murray's got 7.
And when you leave a man open, Batum finds it. Great feel for the game.
And you talk to Murray. He said it was a lot of fun to grow up in Canada. Wanted to prove that you can play ball there and still get to where you need to go.
Batum a screen on Johnson. And there's the pass to Jokic. Allen with the rebound. And as a prep, Murray formed a duo with Thon Maker to defeat some top American schools.
And Murray blew up in some of the showcases. 5-star recruit, top 10 pick. Canada producing yet another exceptional talent.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Murray against Johnson. Johnson with the block. And he gets it back.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Jokic with a screen on Payton. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. It's good. 5 points in the game.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
Here's Johnson. Outside Williams. Back to Johnson. They double team Johnson. Porter outside. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got assist number 8 here in this one already.
their third three-pointer in a row.
Adjustment time for these guys. The defense has to make some adjustment here.
Looking to get it going, and it's Murray with the jam.
And the strength of Murray, finishing the shot off easily, even with the harm.
So for the Bulls, Rush is checked in, and it's Stanley Johnson in for Williams. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Johnson outside. There's 21 seconds left here in the third quarter. 5 on the clock. And he uses the glass on the layup. Johnson's got 35.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Campazzo, and he's good on the 3-ball. Johnson with it. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's the Chicago Bulls having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into the next quarter. And with as many three-pointers. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that back.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Rush is checked in. Williams comes in for Stanley Johnson. Gary Payton is checked in for Sterling Brown. And it's Johnson in for Michael Carter-Williams. So out there for the Nuggets right now, they've got Bold. Jamal Murray is out there at Morris. And it's Hollins in at the 3 at the 4 spot. Johnson outside. Passes it to Stevens. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got 9 assists now tonight.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Bulls.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season. And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Johnson.
Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
And it's Murray with the jam.
This is one of those nights where Murray was just determined to take over, and he's carried through with that determination.
Johnson against Murray. Fires the 3, and the Bulls another 3.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, you know, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
Johnson, it's tipped.
And that massive wingspan coming into play there. Ball uses it to perfection to block shots.
And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for Chicago. Launches it off on that one. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. It was a tale of 2 teams.